Confused about what markets to include in your Neds Same Game Multi? Or is the game about to kick off? With Neds' popular Same Game Multi, see what bets are trending with like-minded punters and simply add it straight to your bet slip within the app. Think it needs more? You can customize or add more legs for bigger odds quickly and easily within the Neds app, so you can take it to the Neds level. Take it to the Neds level. Download the Neds app now and look out for the popular Same Game Multi tab. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Aces, I know I always talk about the RIXXs, but I got to offer you the discount again. In case you've forgotten or in case you're sleeping under a rock, we have a special discount code for everyone that listens to this podcast or watch the podcast. It's Aces. Head online to rixeyewear.com.au and use the discount code ACES and you'll get 20% off. That's right, 20% off, 1/5 at checkout and free express shipping. So head online, rixeyewear.com.au and check it out. Righto, let's get back into the show.
Here we go. Another week has gone. Another week is coming. And that means Aces Premiership Countdown is back on track. Tommy Sheridan, coach Mick Barlow, and myself, the train wreck of a human being, Felix Von Hofe. As you can hear by the sound of my voice.
What's happened, mate?
Oh, I just went one-on-one with the allergies and came off second best.
What kind of allergies is this one?
Horsehair.
How do you figure out?
Yeah, to facts and research.
There you go.
It's trial and error to figure out what your allergies are in life, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's you. Don't go around sniffing horses,
Not
though.
horses, specifically horsehair.
But if you're going to get a disease off a horse, the horse that you got it off today would be the one. Give everyone a bit of an insight on where you've been.
Superstar, Apache Cat, Living Legends. Made a little trip down there to do a bit of work and just got a little bit too close to the creatures.
Yes, but so you got excited, got in there, all through the beak.
All through the beak. Yeah, oh God, there were hooves flying everywhere. There was, God knows what it was just up in the air.
Game, set, match.
And game, set, match. Here I am sounding like
mate, we're glad you're here. We know he's a resilient customer, this bloke, and we need the host, the Hoff. By the way, nice shirt.
Thank you. Yeah, a bit of Street X action. Benny Cousins, they did a little collaboration.
Benny Cousins, it's great to see him back. He's doing some great things. Yeah,
absolutely flying. And when is he going to make it back? Because he's doing a bit with Channel 7.
Well, he's back now. But you mean back in Melbourne or something?
But I wouldn't mind getting him on maybe the coverage over there for the, I've heard enough of Pavlich.
Yeah.
I actually love Pavlich.
Yeah. Well, Channel 7 wouldn't get many games. I think it's the next phase, really, because there's not many, a lot of the WA game, and we're going into kind of the territory of broadcasting.
Do we have any WA listeners?
We would.
Okay, keep going.
We're all around
Fox, a lot of the WA games are Fox footy, aren't they? Because the Channel 7 games are often reserved for the eastern states, rightly or wrongly. So I think watch your space. Not that I know anything about it, but if any Channel 7 games next year in WA, I reckon we'll see Ben Cousins.
I'd love to see it because it's what you want to do. And I know a lot of people come out there and say like, oh, but look what he did. No. But we want to celebrate the recovery and coming back from it. And that's what the symbol is, because I guarantee there's a lot of people watching footy who are in a worse state or the same state as what he was in.
This is the perfect position or role, I think, for Benny Cuz would be post-game. He gets the best player on the ground.
I think he did a lot of work post-game. Maybe let's put him on the pre-game.
No, post-game. Best on ground, and he has a quick interview. I think everyone would really enjoy that. Yeah,
Roving Ben around the room.
Just on the ground. Anyway, let's just move on. Let's get into the show. It's a big show. We need to review a few ridiculous comments last week.
Just relax, boys.
I'm getting excited.
Coming at me like a horse. We'll go into the week that was. The Lions. We're not going to cover every game, just the big ones. The Lions, too good for the Pies. Top of the table clash. Are we concerned about the continuous downfall of the Collingwood Football
Pies
Club?
had a couple out. It wasn't that relevant for the Pies. They had a few injuries. It'll be a different lineup if they meet again. But Brisbane are really showing us that they're going to be right there.
I tend to agree. Well, Train, well surmised.
Thanks,
very well surmised. A lot on the line for Brisbane. They need to win to get top two. And the Pies, for their stimulation, it's hard to maintain. I think they'll be on edge this week when they play the Bombers, but we can talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, we certainly want them to be as stimulated as possible heading into September. North, unable to spoil the retirement party. Great scenes post-game. Jack Rewell didn't live up to the expectation for me. Was hoping he kicked a bag. Let down. Boo. Career
You sounded it out last week. To sound it out as if it was the easiest thing of all time, playing AFL football, as if people on the opposition at a professional level were not going to try versus a guy that has been a great player but is now retiring.
I love he'll kick 5 and he'll pass 3 off.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I reckon it's one or the other.
We're talking about North Melbourne here.
Yeah. No Luke Davies-Uniacke, which would have shifted my tip to Richmond if I had known he was out.
Yeah.
That does hurt. I mean, you had a great week of tipping, which we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, North couldn't get it done, and they celebrate in style. So well done to Koch and to Jack Rewalt, superstars.
Speaking of doing it in style, the Bulldogs absolutely flying at the moment.
Yeah,
just going down in a nail biter to the Eagles. But that's nothing.
What have we done to our man Adzi? I mean, let's hope Crispy doesn't do what Adzi's done.
Oh, jeez.
Adzi, by the way, has been dominating. So that's
It ain't his fault.
It's not his fault at all.
No, that was Jack Crisp on the.
We need to. I've had a few DMs from West Coast fans, and you show us some respect. You know, I can't really say what they
were
said.
debt collectors, but they just happened to be.
They weren't happy with what we were saying. Now, if you go back last week and listen, we were actually talking about how many points they were going to lose by. You said 60. I think I said 80.
Yeah.
We were that confident. They've gone down.
Hey, can I shout out to Jeremy McGovern, who is an unbelievably important player. I think they do lose by 60 or 80 if he doesn't play. The way he sets them up.
The way he went back to the pack.
I'm over-exaggerating, but he
it's not like us to over-exaggerate on the Aces Premiership Countdown, is there?
His importance was huge. Well done to him.
What about Tim Kelly, by the way? Hasn't he just had a season? You know, when you're getting smoked every week like they have besides 3 games, it's not easy to do what Tim Kelly's done this year. And even Oscar Allen, he's kicked a lot of goals for a team that's had very limited chances. So you got to give these blokes their flowers. So congratulations to West Coast. But, boys, number 1 pick. He's meant to be the best number 1 pick of all time. Are we getting a bit carried away? Like, should have they just tanked in the last quarter? Not that we're tanking, but, I mean, surely the board's going, what the fuck are we doing?
I've had this argument with multiple people who say they should have tanked, but I am firmly in the camp, and you see the success of it in the NBA, you see the success of it in the AFL with certain teams that choose to play this way rather than the other way. A winning culture is far more important than tanking for draft picks.
Yeah, and
even it's one player. It's not like basketball where you can get one guy in there and they totally change the game.
I completely agree. I think Harley Reid is going to be a tremendous player. There's more than one very good player in this draft, and West Coast are going to get access to a lot of these good players. They're going to bring in a multitude of players, and a lot of these stories, right? This draft that they get, say they have pick 2, pick 8, pick 20, pick 50, pick 70. A lot of the time the stories evolve that pick 20 or pick 50, the middle picks that I've just explained become your most prominent player. Nat Fyfe was pick 20 in a draft. James Hird was nearly last picked in drafts. So whilst all the euphoria around Harley Reid, West Coast are going to bring in a draft capital like no other at the end of this year, probably along with North Melbourne, which then we're discussing these sides in 5 years, and they won't be in the position they are right now. In 5 years, they'll be up and around the mark.
Well said, Coach. Well said.
Yeah, well,
and you as well, Felix. I think you're spot on. Winning culture versus
positive
picks.
reinforcement today. Well, Aces Premiership Countdown.
A team like North Melbourne and Carlton, who had been accused. Carlton a little bit different. They're playing better this year, but a team like North Melbourne, who have been accused of tanking for years and years, whereas West Coast, that's a winning team. That's a club with winning culture. Yeah. Preserve that over getting the pick. And as you said, you go through the list of number 1 draft picks in any sport. You're almost better off having 3 or 4 picks
the
below
last
that.
number 2 draft pick that West Coast got.
Who was it?
Nick Natnui.
Oh,
who was 1?
Yeah, no, he's good enough.
Who was
Jack
1?
Watts.
We love Watson.
There will be. Let it be known.
No, he got shafted.
Let it be known. There will be no Jack Watts slander on this podcast, or I walk directly out that door.
Superstar. Yeah, you set me up there, Mick.
I'll tell you what. If you redid that draft based on who's the best bloke, you'd still be taking number 1
every day of the week.
100% on your Watts.
Move on. Tom's face.
I mean, the golfing partner. You just rolled me there. Gee, I didn't know that.
The Swans taking on Adelaide. Now, the ball clearly hit the post. Nothing to talk about. Swans onwards, upwards. Adelaide always finds something to complain about.
Week. It isn't that hard.
It's a massive... I'm not going to talk about the umpiring situation. I'm talking about Adelaide are that entertaining to watch. I'm shattered as a footy fan that I can't watch Adelaide this week play a potential final. Shattered. They play an amazing brand. They just lost to Brisbane. Brisbane are now flag favourites, I'm pretty sure. And then you're going down by a point, which, as we know, was a goal. Oh, mate, that was shattering. And And on the flip side, Benny Keys, the moment was stolen. I mean, did you see the big pipes? He did these ones, and then all his teammates jumping on his back. So Lloydie's playing on. The team defence, Mick, out the door, kick in structure, gone. That ball was always going down the other end. They couldn't even recover it on the wing because they're all in the pie stand.
We got it right down to the wing, uncontested.
Yeah, Keys, look at me, as he should be. The best moment ever in footy, kicking the winning goal for your team at home.
He handled it fantastically, though. I will say that Ben Keys afterwards, if that was me, I'm mouth guard out. I got the goal umpire on a rear naked choke. It's game over. My career's done. He was shaking hands with everyone, saying, "Great job." I was super impressed with how Ben Keys handled that.
Once again, I wish Felix was there.
Oh, God. Oh, you reckon Digo, he gets in a bit of strife, do you? Send me over to you, bud.
So that was, how do you feel as a Sydney supporter? Actually, I'm really interested to know. You don't feel bad at all?
Hit the post. What are you talking about? Damn near shattered the thing, as you said.
Oh, yeah. So,
I actually thought the delay was because they were trying to find the ball that it deflected so far off.
And it was, did you think, like, a natural feeling watching the TV was, Keezy's lost the plot. I go, Keezy's carrying on like a pork chop. And then you watch the footage and you go, he's been rolled.
It took until half hour after the game for everyone to really go on and say, hang on a sec. Yeah. So that's the level they had to go to fully clarify that it was a.
I think a lot of people on the field did think it was. They believe that, okay, well, maybe we missed it and it was. Yeah. It did hit the post.
Hey, Hoff, if you're Gil, you're running the AFL, just tell me what you're saying to the goal umpire on the phone.
Oh, the goal umpire. I'm saying, look, mate, it has been an absolute pleasure, but you fucking gone. And you'll front the press conference because I'm the CEO, but I had nothing to do with that. I had nothing to do with that. It's like the bloke when they cancelled the Grand Prix and they had the old mate who had to go out there with the big speakerphone, like he just worked in customer service and he's on the top going, unfortunately, the event has been cancelled.
What a man, Gil just gets up there, faces. He's in the Warseye, Paul Gill, in the sling, and he cuts to come on a Sunday.
Mate,
he's probably enjoying a bit of family time.
If anyone's ever been hard done by, it's the McLaughlin family. They've had a rough run at it. Just owning half of Adelaide, it's tough. Our thoughts are always with them. They are great people, though. I do want to microchips in the ball. This sounds like 5G.
Well, it sounds simple.
The technology is out there.
Yeah, it sounds simple, and if it's easily done, and it's going to find the solution, Let's
not overcomplicate it. They just got to stick to the system. The system they have at the moment works. I think we want that. Well, no, but they didn't stick to it.
Ask Mark Rasciuto whether it works.
Yeah. Well, I think Mark would say it does work. He didn't go through the process that's there that does work.
I would disagree. I think sometimes we're looking at what looks like a fucking Motorola Razr. The best camera angle and the best footage we got was from some Yahoo. It looked like he was on a roller coaster behind the goals with his iPhone 70
Why don't we just scrap it all together and get the umpire just to say it, and then no replays, so the media can't buy in. So that's like if it's on the weekend, we'd be saying, "No,
if it ends up hitting the post and going through either the goals, it's a goal. If it goes through the points, it's a point. If it bounces back into play, it's game on.
I'm all for that. Probably above anything.
Definitely, it's anything you can do for sure to nut out all this stuff, but they need
microchips, man.
Well, I think this has been done to death, but I just can't believe the AFL can't. Like the guy that's in the box, that sits there, can't go, mate, it was actually, it was a goal. And then the umpires go, and even though the ball's on the wing, bring it back, put the time.
That's where they're going to go. That's where they'll go.
That's what should have happened anyway. That's obviously where it's going to go. And that's what I would have thought would happen moving forward. So.
Let's put Gil up there. If you're going to take blame for it.
He's moving on.
You got to make the decision. Okay, Dimmer to the GC. Now you picked up on a nice little quote that may have some Gold Coast players running scared.
But there might be some Gold Coast players running excitedly.
Yeah, very excited. Very excited. There's been a lot of turnover at that club. I've been a big fan of the Gold Coast Suns for too long because I want them to be playing finals.
And they frustrate the shit out of you.
Well, Dave Swallow goes to, this is what I mean. He goes, plays full forward in the league, kicks 4. Like, this is what this champion of a bloke, great human can do. And I want him to play finals as the leader and all these other guys. Anyway, Dimmers said 80% of the group that's sitting next to me, is the premiership side. I think that was the quote. What was the quote exactly?
80% of our first premiership side is sitting in this room.
There you go. That sounds much better.
Great to hear. Great to hear as a fan. We're not going to be spending heaps getting all these players
Next follow-up question. Can you clarify which are the 80%?
Who's the 20% there, Dimmer? Because they might as well pack their bags and get out of here.
It was like when you were a part of the Australian train, but you stayed on. At Freo in 2016, they were building the new facility out at Coburn.
Yes, I do remember.
And we had to go for a tour. At the end of 2016, and it was all exciting. The CEO got up, went around this facility and said, this is state of the art. It's going to be the best in the AFL. You guys are so lucky to have this for next year and beyond. Those that are here next year, and I was out of contract and clearly out of favour and clearly getting delisted. And I was like, no, this joint sucks. It's like, this is pitiful. Oh, get me out of here. Why am I on this tour? As soon as they go, all right, you can either go home or you can hang around for a bit. I was, car, out we go.
Yeah, nice. Where's the senior sides facility?
That's a good story there, Mick. Yeah, it was, it's pretty harsh when they said we've got a 4-year plan. So anyone that was above 28 was like, well, 4 years, I'm in trouble. Yeah. Anyway, so hard week to Gold Coast Suns. Super excited. I just think he'll bring a lot of credibility. He might bring some new assistants, or he might just attract more players. He'll retain more players. He'll bring a much better game plan. And I'm quite excited. I'm with him. I think they'll play finals next year. They have a solid brand when they're on, and he'll make sure that they're way more consistent. And blokes like Flanders and Rory Atkins, obviously I've said this for all year. It made me sick how he wasn't playing, but these guys weren't in the team. And since they've been in the team, they've had 25 and 30. Flanders 30. I reckon Rat has 25 every week, and they impact the game, heavily. So that's why I'm like, just as a fan, I go, why aren't these blokes playing? So, I'm looking forward to seeing Dimmer clean all this up. Super exciting for the AFL.
Anything that the Rat is involved in is better off for having the Rat involved in.
And we do get into the Rat, he's kicking in. So we know, Rat, we know you're having 28s and 25s, but mate, there's a few loopholes on the disposals these days.
Back to that, but no, great man, the Rat.
But yeah, so exciting times for Gold Coast Suns. Pumped.
Exciting time for the Gold Coast Suns. An exciting time for Dev Robertson's Instagram account.
Mick, you lead this one. I haven't been fully across the machinations of it.
Well, Mick, if there was, this would be a nightmare for me when I was playing, because when you have your jumper ripped off on Friday night football and you got mud guts, that is not, that Instagram following is going from 10,000 to 2,000. He has a great rig. If I can give him some feedback, maybe just he should have got the clippers and just clipped that little bit of hair there. He could have looked a bit more cut. But
they like it. The followers, because he got like the Brunswick crowd. They're all the ones in there. There's a lot of like purple-haired yahoos in the
there you
crowd.
go. He's got that alternative kind of crowd as well. So he's actually opened it right up. But the feedback so what happened was he got his jumper shirt and then he ripped it, which he was robbed because he actually got done holding the ball, but he slipped the tackle because he's so strong. And then they said holding the ball and his jumper was around his neck, so he just threw it. As you've seen all over the media, he stands the mark. He's looking unbelievably chiseled. You could grate parmesan on those fucking things. Yeah, mate, spaghetti bolognese or the bit of Dev Robertson's fucking parmesan. Bang, straight on. That's how cut he was. But mate, this is what I don't understand with these blokes. He's now gone to 50,000 followers and he's yet to post. Mate, who's his manager? I'll be calling everyone saying we'll do something.
Hasn't everyone else done the work for him?
You need to be maximise it.
Is the secrecy, Tommy. Maybe you should learn something there. Just posting a meme every 10 minutes.
Well, mate, I'm just thinking, has he got a Nike or Adidas? Who's his sponsors? He should be pumping them up. He should be maximising this kind of... Anyway, no one's seen anything yet. He hasn't posted. His following's up to 50,000. Well, 40,000
in the
people.
last week, I've heard that West Coast Eagles have offered him a 4-year contract, so they're keen to...
That's what I mean. Maximise your opportunities.
They're looking for a bit of sex appeal to the side.
I think I saw Will Levis from the Tennessee Titans just signed a mayonnaise deal. If you've got to do mayonnaise lifetime deals, do something, maximise. He did. He's just got a lifetime mayonnaise deal.
See Dev Robertson just covered in mayonnaise now, dude. He's getting a bit carried away.
I'd just love to see these players market themselves and maximise these opportunities a little better. But he's a good footballer, so well done. And all that. You've got a great rig. You probably wish you had that moment as well on prime time.
Well, I'm now more of a kind of skinny man.
Back in the day, though, you wouldn't pick it. But Mick actually had a very nice Rigosaurus
rump. They call it a back ass.
There was something that was very defining about you that I did notice in our last photo that was posted.
The old clutch and co pants just sucked to him like it was a parachute.
That was certainly clutching.
Yes, didn't leave much to the imagination, did it?
Oh, very good feeling. Very good.
Chief Dunstall back in the day on Instagram and he got his stuff ripped off. Do you reckon he'd have plenty of?
It's hard to say. It's that long ago, isn't
it? Well, obviously Dev Robertson's stock is rising on and off the field.
Yeah, that's definitely if I was going to buy some stocks, I'm buying Dev Robertson's Instagram and I'm marketing the hell out of it.
Where are you buying?
So I'm going to buy. Just with this segment, are we buying stocks just for the week coming up or just genuinely buying?
No, I'm going to allow you to buy stocks and then if something changes in the future, you can offer to me as judge, jury and executioner of this podcast whether you can sell them to me.
Okay, I'm going to buy Collingwood stocks because
really going
I'm
out on a limb.
I'm getting great value considering they just come off a loss. I know they had a few players out, but a lot of troops coming back. I would like a buy of Collingwood stocks as they play this week, and then they have a week off, and then they get going. Their culture, their club, their coach, I would like to buy them as everyone's dipping off. So let me buy Collingwood
the Bitcoin
stocks.
of the AFL.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's gone for the best side in the comp.
Yeah,
He's
nice.
buying.
Okay.
The GWS Giants in particular, unheralded, I shouldn't say unheralded, much maligned player. That was a big sneeze from out there. We had a sneeze from the producing
diseases
box.
What magnitude was that?
That was
It's a patchy cat around
was
here.
unbelievable. But I sneezed. A lot of people have sneezed at Jesse Hogan in the past, but he came out and kicked 9 goals. I think he's relishing life out of the spotlight there for the
You reckon
Giants.
he's getting up to no good out of the spotlight? It's just
Maybe, but it's working. Good on you, Jesse. Stocks are rising.
9 snags is well done.
You know what I'm buying stocks in?
What are you buying?
Footy microchips because they're coming.
Yeah,
They're coming.
You're probably not wrong.
Yeah, that is a good call, actually.
Well, on the flip side, what's plummeting?
Oh, well, I'm going to go the opposite. The Essendon Football Club have just ran out of steam. As I think I said last week, I did say Giants easy. I think you might have said close. You are winning the tipping, so I should not be getting into you. But yeah, I think Essendon, they've done a great job this year. Tick, the season's been a success for mine, but they look tired. And selling all chips this week. I think the Pies are going to have their way with them, and they've had a great season, the Dons. But yeah, time to sell the stocks.
The 20% in that room with Dimmer that aren't a part of the next premiership spring for the Suns. Well, the premiership spring for the Suns. Their stocks are plummeting, and I love that Dimmer's gone up there. He looks really good, looks healthy, looks tanned. Got the new
He's just
new
comes
polo.
fresh from Europe as well.
He looks tanned, chiseled.
But there's players there that are aware that are new coaches in town for 5 or 6 years, and if they're on the nose at the moment, their stocks are done.
Is there a player or anyone in particular, Mick?
No, let's not. No, let's
Does
not.
he take a lot of kick-ins?
No, let's not headhunt anyone specifically
We're all about the players.
from the Suns. I think it's just that time of year. I'm just going to go, the stocks are plummeting for the delisting period and careers coming to an end, career mortality. It is quite mortal.
It sucks.
So it's coming. And
We know.
We
We
don't
know.
love it. As of next week, we'll be sitting here and there'll be news out of clubs with players moving on.
I'll tell you what, the podcast market for the AFL is filled with blokes that have been delisted. I don't think there's a single bloke that hasn't been delisted that is running a podcast. Like you look at the list clockers boys with Dan Gorringe and Dill Buckley.
Yep.
You look over here,
retired.
I was the
actually
equivalent
retired.
of delisted from, retired, not fired.
I retired.
So you retired. Can you validate which clubs were coming after you?
I retired, so I took my name out of the draft and all that. So yeah, no, I don't sit in that bracket, but I understand where you're coming from. Yeah.
Coach Barlow, you've laid the blueprint to destroy some of the best
hang on.
teams in football.
And congratulations, finishing second on the ladder. Just being Gold Coast Suns have just got you at the end of the year. Hold that up so everyone can see what it says, mate.
What is it, Irish-
Hold
Irish
it up.
colours?
Where's the camera? There,
Yeah, right in
Coach
front of you.
Barlow,
There you go. Put
Coach
it down. What do you got for us, Coach?
The coach this week, been a very Gold Coast-centric show today. Gold Coast Suns doing well, brought in Dimmer Hardwick. But let's talk about their game on the weekend. Everyone has been lauding the game of Charlie Curnow. Rightfully so, he kicked 4 1/4, ends up with 5 for the match. Great game. Late in the game, they put him behind the ball as the +1, the spare player, and takes 2 or 3 intercepting marks, and everyone's like, how good is Charlie Curnow? He was great. But the Suns, are you any chance in those moments of getting that spare defender and pushing down towards Charlie Curnow and potentially manning him up and making them accountable? Or if you don't do that, instead of bombing it into him, how about we just kick it off the line or kick it lower so he doesn't intercept? They did it. If they do it once, maybe, then you kind of have a look and you think, wow, Charlie's there. 2 times, shame on you. 3 times, you're done. They did it 3 times, kicked it to Charlie Curnow when the game was on the
Then
line.
what they get beat by?
Well, less than a goal.
4 points. So there you go. It's a great coaching point, Mick. And there you go. Maybe for teams playing Carlton in finals, if you see Curnow behind the ball,
Just
inside the
avoid
corridor,
him with
just
the
avoid
kick
him at all costs.
or man him up and turn into 1-1.
Jeez, he's a gun. He's a gun.
How many of the top, you would say, Mick Barlow, the top VFL
Well done,
coach?
Well done, Coach. That was
Top
a great-
VFL coach.
Second
on the ladder.
Behind Gold Coast.
Gold Coast. Yeah, but they got all the access to the AFL stuff.
Yeah.
Like, boo,
Great
boo. You would say, I would say, maybe I'm biased, the top coach in the VFL at the moment.
You're biased.
I am biased.
Because it's
The
tell you what makes a good coach.
The pathway from what?
Good players.
No, that is true. That is true. Take everything I said back. You've got the best players. The pathway to the AFL from the VFL, what are the success stories that we've seen in the past?
Well, you're looking
apart
at
from the inevitable.
Are you talking players?
No, coaches.
Oh, coach. It's interesting you raise that because I just want to. People look at state league coaching and they say, "Oh, well, you're fairly good, or you want to be in the AFL." And it's actually not the case. And I'm a big advocate for state league coaching and state league football and standalone programs. So it's interesting because it's what I'm doing is as fulfilling and as holistic as what AFL coaches are doing. Managing your own program, you manage high performance, you oversee all the players. Obviously, it's just on a smaller scale. So, coaching your own team is really important to be able to, if you do want to progress in the AFL, which from my point of view, it's not the be all and end all, but you actually go in more holistically prepared than someone that might just come out and be a career assistant coach.
This sounds to me like someone who's sniffing around for a long-term deal.
Is that a pitch? Is that a pitch?
Long-term deal.
Who's a club that needs? I think Richmond are looking for a coach. Mick?
Richmond are looking.
Head coach. AFL.
You're not ready though. Are
The
you? You've got that
AFL
young
head
family.
coaching stuff. I think the best, and there's only 18 gigs in the land, and any year. I think this year or last year, within the last 12 to 18 months, is actually a period of big change and turnover, of which they haven't seen for some time. But the best AFL coaches come in. I think they've managed their own program. They've coached their own side at some level. It might be state league. It might be, clearly like state league or an aligned club. But then you would have wanted to have coached the different lines, like mids, forwards, backs, the different phases of the game. So there's a lot that goes into it. And I reckon your mid-40s probably before, or early to mid-40s before you're really ready to be an AFL coach.
Love it. Love it.
Well said,
Cannot
coach.
wait for the day that it arrives.
Well, good
stick
luck
with
in the VFL finals, Mick. Second on the ladder, and
Before my sinuses just completely
you're looking
take me.
like- is that a
God,
patchy cat
It's
on your
coming up here,
mind?
but I'll tell you what, it is time for Ace of the Week.
yes.
Ace of the Week. Ace of the Week.
Thank you, boys.
Ace of the Week.
And
Take it away.
No, before we get to Ace of the Week, Ace of last week,
Wow.
John Newcomb, could you please read your Instagram DMs because Tom is waiting for
We're
you.
sliding in there, Jai boy. So you've had your 40, and then
We got
you've.
Ausmerican Aces music.
And Jai was a late scratching last week, so we've jinxed him again. This week's Ace of the Week is Zach Butters. Yes, you might say, he's a Brownlow top 3 kind of favourite, but this game was massive. We sat here, we ummed and ahed. Ooh, Fremantle, they got nothing to lose. What does Zach Butters do?
We're at Port out. It's in Perth. all
Port,
that.
are they going to just get it done? It's a big game for top 4. Zach Butters stands up. He's so classy now and hard. I don't remember a time where I see someone so hard at it and they can also finish. Kicks a goal, 31 possessions. He was super. I can't wait to see this bloke in finals when all the cameras are on because he's just going to go hard at it. So, Zachy boy, you are Ace of the Week. I'll be sliding in the DM, so make sure you get around it. Good on you, big fella.
Ace of the Week. Ace of the Week. Answer your DMs. Jai Newcomb. Boys, it's time to lift it up a notch. We've had some big guests. Ads Trelaw, Dommy Tyson.
Jeez, he was good last week, Dommy, wasn't he?
God, he was good.
Gold. Champion data.
Oh, yeah. All over it.
Didn't
All over
commit,
it.
though. Didn't commit, but yeah.
Do you know what my favourite burger is, though? At Grilled. The crispy bacon and cheese. So to
There you go.
celebrate, Jack Crisp.
Crispy.
Crispy bacon and cheese as I live and breathe. I'll tell you what, usually I've clowned people for coming in here too casually, but if you're going to shave the pins, especially for the occasion, we'll let it pass.
I probably should have done a fresh shave. This is a couple of days old.
Oh, you've bloody got to get some razor work
He's
because
in the wars,
you've cut yourself. Oh, you look like you've had a date with Jigsaw.
In the wars, the boys, you put the head over the onion clearly. Who got you with the scabs on the face?
Yeah, not actually too sure.
Scabs on the face. That's big weekend.
No, it's from the game. Don't know who did it.
I like to kick it off, Crispy, always when we have a guest with a traumatic experience. All right. So I'm just going to replicate a call I heard 5 years ago. It was a call 5 years ago. I heard this.
Definitely going down a different path than I thought you were.
I heard a call. McGovern intercepts, kicks it long. I think Vardy takes a hanger, turns around. Ryan hanger, turns around. Mate, you wouldn't believe it. Not a fourth hanger in a row. Dom Sheed, mark, goal, West Coast win the premiership. What are your immediate reactions to that?
get fucked.
That is trauma if I've ever heard it, I reckon.
That's so weird because this is the second time I've been asked something about the grand final in the last week. I was doing a podcast with Daisy the other day and he brought up the same thing, funny enough.
So talk to us, because it's quite obviously going really well this year, and the finals are coming up, which we're really excited about. Collingwood going well, going to finish definitely top 2, maybe top 1, but they're hard to get to.
Well, hang on. Do you think Essendon's going to beat them?
Well, nothing's a given in this game, but clearly hard to get to grand finals, and finals are hard to navigate. But how special was that group, and how much have you taken from that experience into your last 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, we actually had a players-only meeting today about just kind of embracing the next 5 weeks for what it is. There's going to be a lot of people around the club, around training. So it's going to be probably a lot more eyes on football or eyes on the top 8, depending on how far we go into the finals. But we rode that wave of high emotion back in 2018, being at our first final series, for a number of years, and the first final series for a lot of boys. But now we've been around the mark for the last 5 years. I think we've made it to at least 3 prelims in 5 years. So we've got a bit of experience now. But, whether or not we can pick up some form this week and bring it into the next 4 weeks of finals.
On the back of that chain of play, Braden Maynard, it's a clear shepherd. Every man and his dog knows that thing's a shepherd. I had a couple of quid on the Eagles, so I was saying, finally a good call. Yeah. But what was, because he's a bull. He's a bull. He's one of the blokes that, I wouldn't go near. I'd lose a fight to anyone, but I'd definitely lose it to him. What was he like in the locker room coming off that game? Because surely he would have broken anything that wasn't nailed down.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I was too busy staring at me tears coming down my face. Everything was a bit blurry.
Felix after patting a Apache cat.
You're a little bit more glamorous. You're a little bit more glamorous than Chris Mayne when he was the waterworks were going.
Poor Maney.
Well, he was the worst of us, poor fella. But I don't really remember too much after the game, to be honest. We were obviously quite upset about it. Had a quick review. Everyone was pretty shattered, obviously, under the circumstances. But it's beers straight away.
Do you still go out to a club? Because you always see, I know Richmond and stuff go to Bond Bar. Did you guys still go out?
We had a grand final dinner that night, which was great. People had their family and friends there. Ticketed event, obviously, kind of like the Copeland. But so that was a big night. Yeah, we're at Bond. Long story short, got home at 5 when it closed.
And then straight up into it the next day.
I want to ask, how many boys are still on the list that were in that squad? Do you know the number?
Nah, not exactly. Do you have done
I
research?
was wondering, would it be 5, 10?
I was thinking about this the other day.
There's still a few.
Decent amount.
There's still a core, because there was a core of us. So I was, what am I, nearly 30 now? So this is when I was 23, 24. So there's still a fair few of us. But to name a few, there'll be Steele, Pendles, myself, Tay Adams, Hoskin Elliott, Checkers, Coxie, Geordie.
We're talking half. Layman's
yeah,
terms,
about half. Yeah,
Yep.
because we have had a fair list change over the last couple of years.
And you got a couple of not new players, but from not that game or that game to the last 5 years, you've got 2 blokes called Dacos, last name Dacos. They will help, I think.
Yeah.
They will help the whole situation going into these finals.
Wouldn't you, Coach?
How is our man? We're claiming him, I think, along with the rest of the
claim
AFL.
anyone.
Gold from Coach Barlow.
How is our man Josh Dacos going firstly, and then his brother Nick, and with his leg?
Yeah, I'll start with Nick. He's off crutches, doing some gym, bike, pool, swimming now. So he's started his rehab work. From what I read yesterday, apparently he's a bit ahead of schedule, which is nice. But obviously won't rush him back if he's not ready. But yeah, he's doing the best he can to get himself in the proper physical condition that he can to play AFL in as close as possible in finals. Man, Josh is just going really well. He's
An
having a
All-Australian
wonderful year.
wingman. He'd have to be out there.
You'd
on
have
the
to
wing.
be.
Has to be.
There's have to be.
Are they going to
There's meant to be
plonk
All-Australian wingmen the last 5 years.
Mate, how much of it is, as a former wingman myself, they need to pick a wingman. They can't be plonking blokes like you that find the ball. Oh, we'll just put him on the wing.
Put him on the wing.
He
Yeah,
doesn't
stuck
know-
on the wing.
Yeah.
That would have been in a grand final.
Josh Dacos is a true
wingman.
wingman, and he deserves to be All-Australian. If he's not All-Australian this year, then I'd love to know who's the selectors. Yeah, Goulden as well.
I think you're right. The two
They need to
two
pick wingmen.
genuinely good, and not to say that in the past they haven't been good wingmen, but Dacos and Goulden should be getting kind of mid-teens in terms of Brownlow votes, which
You'd think so.
would see them having
Performed
really
very
good years
well
on
for
that
their
in
teams
that
and
position.
on a consistent basis. So you'd think they'd be right up there no matter what the case. So if that doesn't tell you that they should be in the team, then I don't know what does.
So everyone, all the it's picked by, I think, who's on the
Jared Healy was
I reckon Kane Corns.
25. Yeah, Kane Corns.
Nathan Buckley's on there, so he should have an eye towards
Bucks would be,
the pies.
Slip him a 50.
Yeah, a little polish, surely.
Maybe.
Crispy, you're not getting him, mate. This year.
Thanks,
but
mate. I appreciate
it's
the
maybe
confidence.
next year we can work
Well,
towards
Crispy's the weapon. This is who I was saying when
it. Don't have a position for him. He plays everywhere.
you play so well in too many positions. That's your problem, I think. They go, when there's a
I
problem.
used to play ruck as a junior too.
Oh, there you go. Is that when you play with Matty Taverner?
Yeah.
Where was he playing?
It was centre half forward.
Oh, mate.
What was it like playing with Matt Taverner for all those that don't know who Matt Taverner is?
Really frustrating. Because you're like,
A Fremantle.
I know, he was good back then.
Sorry. No, that's staying in there. Clip that up and send it to the
played with
day.
him for 12 years, so but he was good then. He
He's
was
still
really tall,
waddling around the
runs
duck.
hard.
He's had the back surgery this year.
he's one of the great men.
He's a very good man and a powerful man.
Back in regards to the Dacos brothers, what's wrong with Nick? Because right now everything seems too perfect. You know, there's nothing. Every time you look at him, he's a fantastic footy player. He's a great looking bloke.
He's humble.
He seems super friendly. He's humble. He's one of the things that's like, if I'm sitting on the couch and my mum's watching the TV, I'm like, oh, geez, I look like a shithead. Because he's like perfect in every way. And then I'm sitting over there like trying to put me multi on, like, hey, can I borrow $100, mum? Like, just a shit kicker. There's people tweeting about me on a show. Like, it's just a shocking human. But there's got to be something that's like, you know, does he collect stamps or something? Does he steal food in the locker room? Does he?
Geez, I don't know. He loves Call of Duty. He goes around.
He's a dork. Yeah, we got him. It's like Tiger Woods. There's something going on, man. There's something behind the scenes with Nick Dacos.
I don't think he's on the Tiger Woods kind of spectrum.
It's all too quiet. All quiet on the Western Front.
Well, he's only second year in. We'll give him a year or two.
Yeah.
Something might creep out of the woodwork there.
If there's a player that can, I think they said 6 weeks at the start, and as I said, I'm a massive NFL man. They turn these injuries around in like a week or two. But in Australian rules football, if there's a player that can come back before the 6-week deadline, it would be Nick.
Well, that's what's even worse, is that he's coming back from injury too soon.
Yeah.
It doesn't add up.
Well, you got to give him some credit. He works his bloody ass off, and he's a very talented, beautiful young man. You've got to give him a bit of a pump up.
And while we've got Crispy here, we may as well ask some questions about Crispy.
Yes.
See how he's going. What is the streak up to at the moment? The
Mr. Durability. Mr. Durability. What are you doing?
Oh, fuck.
It's funny because Tom used to get dropped a lot. But mine
that trauma with me now, is it?
mine was injury when I eventually got dropped. But it is a commendable effort. Is it 200 plus now?
Yeah, 210.
Is it the record now, isn't it?
Nah. I'm third on the list, so I've still got, I think it's Uze I can get next year at 226.
You can get him next year.
226.
And then Steins
Have you got
is the
like
year
pictures
after.
of Uze up and Steins?
Throw daggers at him with the boards.
Top 3.
How invested are you in the streak? Like, would you get to the point, would you sacrifice the team's needs in order to get your games going?
It's kind of how he's got to the level.
I'll play whatever role. I've been thinking now the only way I wouldn't play if I'm actually on my deathbed.
Yeah, oh God.
Given the sub rule now, I could be the sub. I could just 1 second in, as soon as the ball goes up, sub. That's my game.
Yeah,
that is. So he
And
would
I feel like
compromise the
everyone
team's
else is invested now because I've been asked that many questions about it the last couple of years.
I did see you on Roaming Brian, a great friend of our show, and a man that's looked after me growing up, Riddles Creek. You know, he brought the Sherrans down. Thanks, BT. Blah blah blah. Anyway, I would love to tune in.
Saw
But
Felix the other day and didn't say hello.
Fresh
to him.
air. Fresh
do you
air. I said,
blame him?
BT. He looks at me and walks off.
That's very stiff. We'll have to have a word.
Well, yeah, I think I may have.
I see you Roaming Brian, and I was watching, and I think it was the night that you might have passed 4th spot and whatever, and I was tuning in. The Crispy's very entertaining. You gave him absolutely donuts. I want to know why the players give the Bristle donuts, because I find it uncomfortable when he comes up to you boys and you all run away. Why don't you just get in there and promote something? Use the airtime. Do something. Why are the boys so shy?
You know, I don't know. I don't mind him, but if he's going to go talk, I'm going to go run away.
That's what I mean. It's a consistent theme.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get the vibe, but
he asked some strange questions.
Well, that's probably what it is. I got roped into it after we beat, well, whatever our last win was. That was probably a few weeks ago now.
Come on,
but
our
our head of media comms called me over. Like I thought I had to do an interview, and then all of a sudden BT pops up and goes, "There you go," and she's like in the background going, "Got you." And I was just like,
He cops a lot of hate for it.
Well, it's obviously it's TV, Channel 7, very serious, families watching. So it's not like the stuff he would ask you at Triple M or on the podcast.
I think like it gets a good rap because the viewers at home love it. And it's more of an insight into the change rooms.
I love it.
A bit more into like, players' family
stuff. Yeah,
it's
Trent McKenzie's mum goes, your family can kind of embarrass you on there.
Yeah.
Trent McKenzie's
Mate, my dad runs away from the camera too.
Trent McKenzie, Port Adelaide, he's went over, and Trent doesn't say anything ever. But his mum got the mic and said, I had to bring Trent down some jocks because he forgot the jocks. And she's got the
Bonds
jocks.
briefs. Mick used to love the Bonds briefs.
No, I'm a Y-front guy.
Oh, you've changed it up.
No, always been Y-fronts.
Yeah, but the Bonds.
Yeah, Bonds, yeah. 5-pack from
You say
Woolworths.
Y-front, you mean the real old school, just
Yeah,
the
just
V, the V look
jocks.
on.
That's-
jocks. Yeah.
She had
Just they call them jocks.
Without the back. Like, are you talking just the wire around the back for easy access?
The jock strap.
The jock strap.
Your traditional jock.
Judging by the photo we posted last week, you might need the jock strap just to
The Y-front is conducive
Look like
to
you've
tucking
been
up.
open the batting for Australia with a little box or something in the Clutch and Co cream
That's
pants
exactly
there.
what we looked like. But anyway,
Harmison could have hit that.
Yeah. Is there honestly, congratulations on being, so durable.
Durable,
But
wow.
if you could pass on some serious information to the listeners, how do you do it? Do you call a little bit luck, or is it a lot of preparation, a lot of extra ice baths?
A lot of luck, but for me, I feel like there's a lot of hands-on physical treatment that does the wonders for me, whether it's physios, osteos, masseuse.
you do the Instagram stuff. He's doing the infrared.
Yeah.
You sound like an old man there. Someone's saying, you're doing that new, what do you call the old infrared internet?
He's an infrared man. And I don't think
Instagram infrared man. There you go.
I think
on Facebook.
he's doing it. But I think everyone is.
Old Coach Old Balls over here. Instagram.
I don't reckon he's going there for free, or he's not paying to get in there at the moment because he's.
I'm paying. I'm just giving some
Shout out to him. Then.
shout outs. Yeah, the last few years I've been doing a lot of infrared saunas and cryotherapy. Really enjoy the cryo. It's actually
What about stretching? I personally hated stretching and thought you could get that through your physios. They make them work a bit harder, and they move your body around and you open your
I'll
hips
get
up.
someone else to do this work for me.
I used to struggle to sit there and do stretching on my own. Do you stretch much?
I do a little bit. Not as much as Tom Mitchell. He's always stretching.
Does he?
He cops a bit of flack for always stretching.
Stretching like just 30 minutes a day.
Mate, he's wherever we are, he's
stretching.
just stretching.
That is really weird.
Team
Yeah, I
meetings,
find that
front
strange.
floor,
Yeah.
bloody in the
Go out
change
for dinner,
room.
stretching.
Yeah, he's bending over doing his hammies.
Has he got great flexibility and range
He
for the
does.
hips?
He does.
Okay, so maybe that. What are you laughing at, Felix? I'm just thinking
You
maybe.
seem pretty locked in.
I just thought maybe he's a bit locked
this
up around the
intrigues
hips
me.
and pelvis, so that's why he does
hit
it.
with such hard-hitting
Stretching.
questions like, do you stretch much?
As a professional athlete, I really recommend stretching.
I'm just really intrigued to know the secrets behind Mr. Durable.
We got Andrew Denton over here just really getting to that.
Philosophy on electrolytes.
Let's talk about the pies. As we know, you're flying this year. Everyone's so quick to say something. Blokes like Felix are jumping off the bandwagon. You have one.
Oh, mate, they're cooked. Stick a fork in it, they're done.
As soon as
the Swans are charging.
being such your biggest club, but as soon as you have one loss, the blokes out there trying to knock you. Clearly, you don't care about the external noise. But how's the group? How's the focus? How's the confidence going into the finals?
Going well. We've been training really well the last few weeks. We've just put a bit of an eye on our team defence, as has the whole footy world, including Felix.
So you mean they're not worried about my opinion? Is that what you're saying?
First thing he said when I came in here was just fucking clean up that day. What's going on? No, we're good. Like we feel like one of our greatest strengths has been the last couple of years. When we get focus areas out of a game or a block of games, we've actually been quite good at training it and implementing it, and having a bit of urgency and effort to get better at it. And then it comes to fruition game day. So watch out for Team D on Friday night.
So Team D, and I know the big last year it was the big focus on match simulation and scenarios and win game, lose game, what opposition doing. How much is that? That's sort of like a weekly thing, isn't it? With your training, that you'll put the scores up on the board and you'll flow in and out of scenarios.
Yep. Yeah. No, we definitely did it a lot more last year because it was a lot of guys were still learning a game plan.
Yeah.
Whereas this year we've probably
Only scenario you did 20 points down and 3 points up.
it ranged
think of switching that one around up?
Unless it's Essendon's like 35 points down. Yeah.
It ranged between 16 points to 26 points. So there was like 1 to 2 goal gap you had to make up.
That's a great one there, Felix. The hop always nails it.
But like every main training before a game, you would have done the same match simulation, whatever it is, 18v18, practice a bit of ball movement, team defence, and then like there'll be 3 to 4 minutes where you work on different scenarios. One team will be trying to win the game, one trying
to make it entertaining.
And Tom and I just had a traumatic experience because Crispy's talking about match simulation for the A team. But Tom and I spent most of our time in there.
On the B team, and I was always the bloke that had to, I'm Brent Harvey and Ryan Crowley's going to tag me, so I'm the bunny running around giving you blokes these crazy scenarios. So I want to know who's the bloke that's on the fringe consistently. The coach knows he can implement the game plan that they want to practice for the week, but he's on the B team.
I reckon I know who it would be this year. And he would take it with a really good attitude because that's how he's wired.
Yeah.
Taylor Adams.
Nah, he's been in the
In the
A team.
I feel like that's a bad call. He's playing ones every week.
Taylor Adams.
And apologies to Dave, he's listening. Like, he has 20 in a goal every week.
No, but he plays the...
It's not like the train down at Peel Thunder. You need a spud down the bottom.
People don't understand, right? This AVB team, you have 18v18. When you pick a side for the weekend, you have 22 plus your sub. So there's always your 4...
I would have thought
on the bench that have to, and plus your 15 to 18. That's
not too
wax.
often we've had the bunny being that player. It's more of the team, like they get the white team and tell them how obviously our opposition is going to play. So Essendon for this week, they gave them a quick little rundown from our Oppo meeting this morning, and then just like play like Essendon. Kind of, flood numbers.
Geez, that'd be fun.
So,
flood numbers back and try and transition the ball.
And boys, stand still. That's not good enough. I'm actually an Essendon fan.
They usually, though, the white team come in and say, all right, you are Jake Stringer, you are Darcy Parish.
Yeah.
So who was Jake Stringer? Who was Jake Stringer?
No, we didn't have that today. We were just...
Without giving too many secrets away, Mick.
No, we actually haven't done that. Had people in specific roles for a couple of weeks.
More team v team.
Yeah.
So the way they move the ball, do this.
It might be like, seeing no mids, we might have Josh Carmichael can play a similar role, or Finn McRae even. And then
shout out to those boys. I feel for them. They're like, oh shit, I'm in the white team again.
They're playing their role like. You always used to get to training, and we're lingering on this point far too long, but it'd be like, all right, what colour jumper you wearing today? It sets up your day to be a good day.
Black or white.
And you do the trend. I'm there with Craig Moller.
Craig Moller. You're not giving him a whack.
Tom Sheridan. There I am. I'm in the bloody red team again.
When the train was on the main team, geez, was he vocal? His vocal preach. Come on, boys, get your warm-ups in, couple of dynamic stretches. Let's get out there early, boys, up and about.
I've got one that I've
back to stretching.
A question that I've always wondered over the last sort of 10 years of footy, goal kicking and just the woeful nature where it sits at the moment. And, I'm no expert, but they kick it differently.
I'm just thinking about your last game at NBL. I mean, you missed 12 three-pointers and you're a three-point specialist.
I would have been better off kicking it. But you kick it, so if you just go on the run and kick it, you could hit a wheelie bin from 50 out. You guys are that just solid at it, wide in. But when you go for goal, you stand there, you look like a turd going, do this walk like you're some royal servant and then attempt to kick it straight leg. Why don't you just go 3 steps, bang.
Take a couple of breaths.
Just can annoys me, man, because it got me bloody multi on it.
That sounds like an absolute mug on the couch.
Yeah.
There's a bit of fatigue in there to help you out here.
100%.
Crispy doesn't miss many. You don't miss many.
Set shots are a bit different with, obviously it's a stop play, all eyes are on you, and then you can actually feel the pressure, whereas, the play is live and everything's kind of happening so fast, you can just make that decision real quick. Probably feeling less focused on that.
But the motion of the kick, and slap me in the face if I sound like an ass here, but the motion of the kick feels different. Like you stop, you're like rigid,
for me,
and you do the walk in, whereas usually you just take 2 steps, bang.
Yeah, no, I want to play devil's advocate here, but imagine having 90,000 fans all staring at the big Hoff going back from 40 out, and I'm telling you, you're probably going like that because all the eyes are on you.
But the 90,000 fans don't leave when you catch it in the middle of the ground either.
Yeah, you're not thinking on the fly, is what you're saying.
I'm just saying, keep it more natural. Just put it, bang.
Yep. But
we
we
tried
should.
that for a little while,
try
didn't we?
training that. Yeah. But no,
It is a good point though. How many
I'll pick a
shots
stroke.
at goal do the boys have? Because there is a bit of that strength
Mate,
and conditioning.
have a
Hey,
few.
boys, get off. We need to keep you fresh.
No. A lot
a
of
few
boys
stretching.
There's always time
Got
after.
to stretch with Tommy Mitch.
We'll get you off of your stretching.
Yeah, but we start with the back and hammies.
So is there two options, goal kicking or stretching? Everyone's goal kicking, Tom Mitchell stretching.
Yeah, pretty much. No, there's always time after training to tip into extras. A lot of the forwards are working on their set shots, snaps, whatever they want to work on. But there's a few out there for a while because it's like what they're paid for.
I love
so
how Felix is
they
having
want to be bloody
if you're
kicking
going to
goals.
go after a team for set shots, probably not Collingwood. Have you seen Jamie Elliott after the siren? I mean, if there's any more team that's more
But
clutch.
I just find it a fundamental thing. Like, it's just
Yes.
such a different motion. It's like shooting a free throw different than you would a regular jump
You
shot.
get about 20,000 in the basket, wouldn't you?
It is a
Bit
good
less
point.
pressure.
It is a good point.
But it's the physical motion of it. Like,
Yeah.
even if there's no one in the stands, the way you hold the ball down, slow walk.
Well, everyone's got their own
Let's get
technique
there.
the way they do it.
What
So
happened to Josh Kennedy? He got that stutter out of his.
Yeah. Maybe some people need to copy that. I mean,
it
anyway.
still works. If you walk like a royal servant looking like a turd, that works for you.
Let's go back to
just
your
find it
role.
amazing.
You're playing halfback.
Everywhere.
You're playing everywhere, aren't you? Like, are you playing everywhere? I sometimes don't know. With Nick out now, I thought you'd play more midfield time. Is that being discussed? What is your
Yeah,
role? Like,
yeah.
are you
Well,
a bit of a just like when it need Mr. Fix It? You know, Sally's Gaps. Is that what they call them?
Was that a new
Yeah,
sponsor?
it's just kind of
No,
depends.
it's not a sponsor. I'm just thinking about someone that plugs the gaps.
Mr. Fix It.
Mr. Fix It. Anyway, you're everywhere and you do a great job at impacting wherever you play. What is your main position?
But no, it's mid and back. It kind of depends what the makeup of the team is and guess who we're playing. So if certain people are in or out, then it kind of does a makeshift of the team. But
Well, Nick's out at the moment, and let's say he's not back for 2 more weeks. Are you
Yeah,
playing
so-
more mid-time while he's out?
Well, I was last week and the week before. They gave Paddy Lipinski a run in there as well. I'm just trying to give people different hits here and there to see kind of what the best mix is with people in and out of the team.
Yep.
But I've had some conversations, but probably more mid over the final series, back to what our stock was at the start of the year and how we feel like we best mix as a team and gel as a team. And
I like that.
so
There's,
we'll see how it goes.
I love that. Yeah, you do need to be versatility would have got him the 210 in a row, absolutely. But Craig McRae always looks very, in control, monotoned. Great to listen to, great to watch.
Very likeable.
And talk to us about him. I do want to know: has he ever given a spray? Because we haven't really seen it. But how is he? He just seems like he's taken this role clearly like a duck to water.
Yeah, to be honest, he's actually quite good at, as he said, staying in control and managing his emotions. I think he said to the boys after the Hawthorn game, it was probably the most animated he reckoned he'd been throughout the game as coach, and he's apologising for that. And I was like, oh, didn't really notice, to be honest. But he hasn't given too many sprays, but a couple of times he's in mid conversation about his speech, like at halftime, whatever it is, and then would like yell for 3 words. But like, it's like you're meant to be doing it on the oval, just like talking about team defense. He's like, and you say, get here, fucking get here. Like talking about how he wants us to demand
So he's got Tourette's.
things. Cock balls.
Got it. Tommy, keep stretching. I can see it.
But yeah, that's pretty much as heavy as it's been. Like, he's really good with his words and kind of bringing back things to our focus areas and letting blokes know, like, they've still got to work hard, obviously, and give them nearly passive aggressive, you'd say, some things with a real calm
I hate that. I hate the passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Just yell at me.
Are you taking notes, Coach?
I am. No, he fascinates me, Craig McRae.
But he speaks so well. Like everyone listens and knows where he's coming from and understands our game plan. So when he's talking about making things we need to change or get better at, like, we know that, and he's just giving us direction to say, go do it again, and we're like, yep, we know what we got to do.
The dynamic, so he's on the bench. And again, I'm going a bit coachy here, sorry, Felix and Tom.
No, I like this
But
question.
he's on the bench.
Werribee.
And and I'm a box coach. I'm up in the box, in the sky type stuff.
You got a box there?
Who are your, who's the captain of the box? Well, the main coach who oversees strategy and whatnot, because fly down ground level, you actually lose control
It's a
of
great question.
really what's going on.
two
So
I
you
see.
need to have the assistants up on their game in the box.
I don't actually know, but I'd say Leper.
That's probably not a good sign if you don't know.
No,
I don't talk to the
too much
boss.
about what's going on
I
there.
like to talk to Skippy and Scoot or Bolts if I'm playing back if they want to get a few messages out.
Some great
but-
names there. Yeah, put them again. Skippy and Scoot and Bolts.
Cartoon.
Yeah, so Leper's up there too.
So Lepage is he's the eye in the sky. He was like
Yeah, he's
Clark,
got-
when Clarko was he's man in charge was Fagan that's now
Yeah.
at Brisbane. They said he was the one that was making a few tactical decisions and helping out a
Yeah,
fair
so
bit.
Leper focuses a fair bit on team defence and is
Oh,
our
well,
forwards
he's in trouble,
coach.
isn't he?
He's getting a bit animated. He said nearly broke his fingers pointing at the TV the other week.
We love that. And on the bench, does your coach give you guys heaps of feedback on the fly, or is he pretty, and pun unintended that? Yeah.
On the Craig?
Yeah. Does he give you a fair bit, or is he just patting you? What can we expect fly on the fly there on the bench? What's he telling you when you come off for a quick spell?
No, that's all right. A lot of it's positive reinforcement stuff. And obviously he'll give you feedback if you needed it or about different scenarios that happen in the game before you come off. But, it's all about reinforcing messages and obviously helping getting things out if you're going on as well. So we try to keep our bench pretty calm, not too much yelling going on and not too many people on the bench as well. Gives the boys time when they come off. They take their 30 seconds to walk, grab a breath. Grab a bev.
Don't mind this team.
They're a good team. Just and you reset, and then you can have your conversations with your coaches and players and coach.
Mate, all the best on the season. Hey, you don't come on here and not go home without our brand spanking new hoodies, brother. Thank you.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, hoodie. I got the black one in the car. I'll get you another colour.
I got too many black jumpers at home. I need a bit of colour in my life.
I love that. You didn't come on the show for a gift with anyone that doesn't really like the Pies or anything, did you? There's obviously we're all big supporters of you and the Pies. Some blokes have been knocking them the last few
thrown under the
podcasts.
bus.
Couldn't find anything except this awesome pair of Collingwood football shorts.
There you go.
Watch how you put them on. We might be seeing a bit too much.
What size are we running?
Extra
Now
large.
maybe Felix
Mate, I wore these today at train. I haven't watched them.
Now, when you go down to Gosh's and do your goal kicking routine, make sure you whack them on Felix.
Hey, can you give us
I wouldn't want to put the leg too high. No,
Can you try to put them on?
I'll chuck them on.
And clearly in the black team at training today, so still in the good books with the coaches.
But thanks so much for coming on, mate. Really appreciate it. And
skins I could have bought.
I don't want you to break these, Felix. I feel like the big quads aren't going to get these
I
over.
got birthing hips. There we go. We'll sit here like this. Are we auctioning off?
spat them there.
Have you cut these yourself? Oh, no.
Oh, anyway. But yeah, mate, all the best for finals. Exciting times ahead. And hopefully you guys are holding up the cup. It's going to be really, really exciting. So thanks for coming on the pod, brother. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. This has been great. Thanks, boys.
Rapid fire. Essendon Collingwood, Friday night.
Collingwood bounce.
Collingwood bounce.
Lock. Go Pies. Hawks, Freo.
Freo.
This is a tough one. I can't go against Hawthorn at the G. I think the way they're playing. I mean, Fremantle, again, if Fremantle win, I'm still happy. But I want to see Fremantle score.
Confident Freo to finish the year on a high.
I'm rolling with the Hawks.
I'm going to go with the Hawks, which is going to, I know Freo fans will be off me, but I need to get Mick back. he's had a great week of tipping. I tell you what, he's on fire.
Good old North Melbourne taking on the Suns.
In Hobart, right? Oh, this game has nothing on the line apart from
Mad Monday. They're thinking about Mad. So, boys, just to give the insight, boys from both teams right now are thinking about.
and they're playing in Hobart.
Oh, that's absolute
so
filth
can't
to
even
have your
go
final game of the
straight
year in
out.
Hobart.
So it's a wacky Wednesday job.
Nah,
for sure.
Suns too good.
Suns too good.
Yeah,
Lions
Suns-
and the Saints.
Do I get to give my tip?
No.
Okay, I'll go Suns though.
Lions and the Suns. Lions and the Saints at the Gabba. Lions going too well. They don't lose at the Gabba.
Yeah, I've got to apologise to the Saints. I was there live. As I said, we went head-to-head last week. You gave your lock of the week. I want to congratulate you because I thought that was pretty dangerous with that lock. But Saints are playing beautiful football. Last week, they missed so many set shots and they still won by, I think, 33 points maybe. They're playing really good. So, you know when we said they're not moving the ball well? The last 2 weeks they have. So I just want to say well done to the Saints. They are actually going really well. And, geez, they might be doing some damage in that first final.
Wins.
Sorry, Mick, just wanted to apologise from last week.
Because I know who you're going to tip. You've just given a big shout out to the Saints fans, but
But Brisbane at the Gabba. Brisbane, they haven't lost at the Gabba. I can't tip against them.
Tell you what, he loves barreling his camera there, doesn't he? Oh.
Oh, you got to look the Aces in the eyes when you're talking, don't you, Felix?
Geelong with half a team taking on the Bulldogs.
Dogs.
Going to go the Dogs as well. I think it's a must win, and the Cats they're resting.
Q in the rack.
Plenty.
Q in the rack. Q in the rack.
Q in the rack. The Mighty Eagles coming off a win against the Crows, coming off a fat L.
This is a tough game, only because there's nothing to be gained, is there, Mick?
The West Coast win.
Eh?
Yeah, I think the emotional downfall from Adelaide and West Coast Shuey last game, Hearn last game. I know I didn't read into this. I'm contradicting myself last week with the Richmond situation, but they've won. There's a vibe. I'm seeing 50,000 at Optus Stadium. West Coast to beat Adelaide.
That is a huge call. I'm going to go with the Crows. But I relate to what you're saying.
Ben Keys to lose on the siren. Port Adelaide and Richmond. For those who were awake at 12:30 p.m. on a Sunday.
Yes, Port Adelaide.
12:30. Why is it so early?
Well, because I think because these games, the next two games, will have an impact on finals.
So they want everyone to watch the full game.
So they want everyone. It's a bit of a nothing game there.
6:10 for the last game. Okay. Port Adelaide.
Port Adelaide, Swans and Melbourne. Big one for the Swannies, who are locked into the finals, I believe, at the moment.
At the G.
At the G.
Swans.
No, at the SCG.
So at the SCG, it was going to be the G. Like what the Swans are doing. Geez, they fell over in the last quarter, but
we
found
did
a way.
against Essendon a couple of weeks
Found a way
ago.
to win. Swans will find another way to win.
Yeah, wow. That is a tough game. Do you think the Swans will beat Melbourne? Do Melbourne have to? Are Melbourne trying to win? Like, they're all trying, but do they gain anything if
I believe they can drop out of the four and Carlton can overtake them.
No, they can't. Just to correct that. Carlton,
they can't at all.
No, they can't lose from fourth. And if Brisbane win, because they're playing prior, Melbourne can only improve their ladder position if Port were to lose to Richmond. So they're going to probably finish fourth. They're going to finish fourth regardless of win-loss.
And they're going to like that matchup against Collingwood.
So I'm going to go with Sydney just because they might be thinking, last quarter we'll take Gorney off and we'll tank. I shouldn't say tank. Last quarter we'll rest a couple of our stars because we can't improve our ladder and Sydney have more to win and gain.
And they'll know by the time that game starts, Port Adelaide will have already played and won most likely.
Sydney need to win this game to get a home final if St Kilda lose to Brisbane, which is what everyone's predicting here. So I'm just giving you the scenarios. I think that Sydney will win. But Melbourne won't be trying as hard, if that makes any sense. They'll be trying hard, but if they're down in the last quarter, they might rest some players. You got to think, Mick. You got to remember, if you're coaching, you're down by 20 points. You've got a few blokes banged up. So you reckon they're going to throw everything at this game?
Not everything, but
that's what Sydney. This is do or die for Sydney.
Yeah, well, that's why I've tipped Sydney.
Not do or die, but they're already locked in finals. But Sydney, anyway.
If you're still listening, Carlton and GWS.
This is the game of the round. You guys know the impact on this game?
Giants need to win to play finals.
Yes.
If the Dogs win the night before.
Yes.
That's how simple it is. So the Giants win, I think, regardless of that situation. I love what the Giants are doing. The Blues, they've been up and going.
They've been up for a long time.
They have been up and going. One final push till they have a week off into finals. But I've nearly tipped the Giants every week of the season because I love them that much. So I'm going to tip them again.
I love the Giants. I'll be staying with the Giants. This is a bit concerning. We've tipped very similar this week. Besides
West
maybe
Coast, I've tipped.
Okay, so I should get that one back on you.
And we both tipped Freo,
yeah. Righto. This is going to be interesting for locks of the week.
Ooh, you've buried the lead. Locks of the week. Locks of the week.
Tom, over to you, my friend.
Can we do more than one?
Well,
jeez,
no,
it's just a lock of the week.
Okay.
Society with no rules is a jungle.
Oh, I've got about 6. I'm going to lock Collingwood in Friday night. They want to play some quality football heading into the finals. This is a really important game for them and their confidence. I'm going to say that is the lock of the week and take me to 100% with all my locks. And after you go, Mick, I'll give you about 3 more.
Bat and pad close together for me as well. Port Adelaide would just beat Richmond.
Yeah,
love it.
There you go. And I think if there's another lock in there, let's give a value. Let's give a value play.
Value play mine is the Dockers to beat the Hawks.
Okay, mine will be the Giants at Marvel. I think they're gettable, and it'll be a quality game of football, the last game of the round. So that'll be really interesting. But yeah, all the best to Cogs as well, playing his 200th game. A very good man, and not many blokes have played 200 games, even at the Giants. So congratulations, Cogs. Phil Davis has just retired. Congratulations to Phil. Can't wait for this week. This is why this show's so exciting.
Oh,
Premiership
finals as well.
Countdown. Finals
Oh.
is the next. We're going to be talking about the bye, but the finals is around the corner. Can the Giants make it?
That's going to be exciting stuff.
The bye will be. There'll be storylines everywhere. Who's made a fool of themselves on Mad Monday? There'll be something in papers that we can read out. But this last game of the round, Giants v Carlton. They're going to smash the records on TV because everyone from the Bulldogs and the football world will be watching if the Doggies do beat the Cats.
Well, the locks are in, the tips are in. Crispy Bacon and Cheese has given us a great chat.
Oh, won't he be back after Mick brings up the... Imagine playing in a grand final and you bring up the stretch of play that's cost you the goal of your lifetime. When I say the goal, putting a medal around your neck, Mick, that's quite traumatic.
Goal against.
Yeah, well, yeah. Nick Dacos is hiding something, boys.
I'll tell you what he's hiding.
I'm going to spend the bye week trying to find out what it is.
He's hiding.
But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, follow on Instagram. Do what you need to do. Thanks for tuning in to the Aces Premiership Countdown.
Aces, I know I always talk about the RIXXs, but I got to offer you the discount again. In case you've forgotten or in case you're sleeping under a rock, we have a special discount code for everyone that listens to this podcast or watch the podcast. It's Aces. Head online to rixeyewear.com.au and use the discount code ACES and you'll get 20% off. That's right, 20% off, 1/5 at checkout and free express shipping. So head online, rixeyewear.com.au and check it out. Confused about what markets to include in your Neds Same Game Multi? Or is the game about to kick off? With Neds' popular Same Game Multi, see what bets are trending with like-minded punters and simply add it straight to your bet slip within the app. Think it needs more? You can customize or add more legs for bigger odds quickly and easily within the Neds app, so you can take it to the Neds level. Take it to the Neds level. Download the Neds app now and look out for the popular Same Game Multi tab. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.